guys, I'm back. So what I did was I decided to take out those blue digitals that I had showed you because I had enough of the pinky floral type, which does have a little blue in, by the way, and I had wanted to make a blue toile journal, and I was trying to mix them, and I just don't think it went, so I'm good. I'm good with that. So what I have here is 5 double-sided digitals in each signature and 3 extra pages that are just cute, different little ledgers and things like that, coffee dyed. And what I'd like to do now is I have a couple of bags. I have this cool, I've been wanting to use this for a long time. It's like a blue doily, but it was really big. So I cut it in half, so I want to put that in there. I've got these bags. I decided I'm going to put the bags in straight because last time I did it I made them crooked and it was a little challenging for me, so I'm like, you know what, if you like your bags straight, do them straight. Nobody says that you have to put stuff in your journal crooked, right? We gotta do what makes us happy and what we like. I have a dictionary page which is very fun on flowers. So I think what I'll do is with this is just, let's cut this in half and just do a small little page. And maybe I can just put a pretty little flower on there or something. So that'll go in. And then these, I have these beautiful book pages. I really like doing this. I need to cut them down because they're large, and I'm going to attach them with some washi tape, fold them in half, and make a smaller page out of those. So it's going to take me, I wanted to do it with you because I thought that might be fun. All right, let's clean up the mess. And let's take a look. Pull out some washi, see what we have here. Sometimes I like making these a little bit shorter too than the actual pages, which they already are, which is nice. The other thing I like about these is they're really thick. So they just make a really nice page. I want to do that like that, I think. And then when I put them together with washi, I leave a little bit of room. So actually, let me just make sure on that width again, because then oh yeah, that's good. I just want to give them a little bit in between so that when you fold them, we're just sewing through the washi and not looking good. I love this. This will be pretty on there. The other thing is sometimes I use paper and make like a paper hinge, but I think this is going to work well. We have to go a little bit closer to, okay. Just to kind of match up. There we go. Nice. All right, let me take a peek and see how I did in terms of width. Oh, very good. See how nice that is? It's just different. And I can get sewn right in. I'll have to give those a nice go around with the ink. So if we do those two, it's got some white on the bottom and white up there. I am not going to ink all these pages with you guys. I'm going to do that off camera. Oh, I just love that. Love, love, love. Okay, so there's those two. The other thing I wanted to do was this is white on one side, and I need to take care of that right now. So what I thought I would do is we're going to do a little spritz. Yeah, I mean, I don't want it to be real dark, so actually I think we're going to do a little combo of those. So some bundled sage, speckled egg, and stormy sky. And let's see what we get. And then maybe I'll even spray a couple. Let's see how we do. Just going to drag those through. Just getting some color on there like that. I'm doing a voiceover here. There's a lot of re-inking and spritzing and drying, and so I just thought I would do a voiceover. I just was trying to get the ends. They were a little resistant to the ink, so it just took a couple times going back and forth, but I'm really happy with the combination of those inks and how it came out. It always dries a little bit lighter, so it looks a little harsh here, but it dried just to a beautiful hue of blues and greens, and that's exactly what I wanted, so I was happy. They're going to be really nice with something on there. The other thing that would be really fun to do, and I think we're going to do it, is put a couple of butterflies on there, the more neutral color, and then emboss them. While I'm grabbing my stuff to do that, one of my favorite Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous stamps is this. I love this. Specimen CMS 410. So if you do one of the bigger butterflies, it would be across, the wings would be across both sides like that. And I think this calls for a little Gina K gold. I love Gina K embossing powder. Fine detail gold. So let's do that. Okay, let me find my little pouncer. I'm just going to go ahead and give these a little vintage photo right now because I think it's a little easier to do it right now. There. Sometimes if you put it in the light, you can see. It looks pretty good. I'm going to stand up. Give that a nice press. Oh, yeah. Oh, check that out. And it folds just fine. Oh, I love that. We could do this one like this. How about it? Why not? Because maybe that'll get turned upside down and it actually fits much better, too. Another gorgeous, oh yeah, those came out great. I have a feeling I might be using more of these. Anyway, that's perfect for now. Let's go ahead and put these extra things in the pages. Got our 2 signatures. Got a couple of bags, got a couple of things. They don't always have to be the same, but I don't know. I just was like, you know what? Let's get this done. Ooh, that might be nice actually. Yeah. That's a lot of pink going on there, isn't it? That's kind of boring, isn't it? But we're going to be adding some really interesting stuff. Oh, what am I talking about? What am I talking about? That's nice right there. Okay. Oh, look how nice that is. Yeah. Oh, we didn't add our bag. Okay. goes right there. So this one I was thinking of having it be up like that. Ooh, that's pinky, isn't it? That might be just the place to break that up. Let's just finish flipping. More ticking stripes. Middle. Yeah. Oh, isn't this bright and pretty? I love it. And I'm happy about my decision of taking the blue papers out. You guys probably are too. You probably were like, what? There's no, Kathy, there's no shades of that blue in there. What are you doing? That smoky blue. There's a lot of this turquoise type blue, but anyway, I'm happy about that. So that's it. What I was thinking about doing, guys, is because it's so much easier to work in journal pages before they're in the journal, in terms of like stenciling or adding a little texture paste, I think I want to do that next. So I'm going to take a little break and I'll be back and we'll do a couple of those special touches in here because we still have a whole lot of ephemera to make, but it would be nice to get these in the journal. And I'll be back. Hello, hello, hello. We're going to have ourselves a little stamping party. So I always do this, and what happens is then I end up taking the signature apart, but that's okay. I have a general idea how I want it. It's just a process that I do, and bear with me. So I've got a bunch of Tim Holtz stamps here on the side. I'll try to mention them as I use them. And I'm just going to flip through and see what I think. And if I see something, so, you know, there will be pockets going down and different things on these pages. But what I do is just look for an area like right up here, for instance, that I think something might look nice. I've also got my favorite numbers that I love. And I think what I'll do is just like place them. And I'll do maybe 2 pages at a time. That works, right? This is so cool. Oh boy, do I love that. I think that might go there. Okay, so some things will get embossed, some won't. We're just gonna go as we go here and see what happens. So I've just picked out some colors here that I thought would be nice. I really like this graphite archival ink. It's great. It's really nice because it just gives you a little bit more, it's a little lighter, kind of like a second generation stamp. So I decided to do a voiceover for the rest of the stamping because the process with embossing and choosing stamps, it takes a while. So as you'll see, I just chose things that I thought were interesting to different pages. I love those large numbers. Some things got embossed and some things just got stamped. And where the stamp comes through, I'll add an element to the other side of that page. I love these wildflower stamps. So I just chose colors that I thought would complement the page next door. Some contrasting, and this is also adorable. I love those polka dots, and I did decide to emboss that. And I just added a sweet element to that little dictionary page. I'm adding some more large numbers. Yeah, I think this is just so much easier to do. Now this is fun. I love doing this with this large stamp. I just add vintage photo over the whole thing and use it as a page and give it a little spritz so it's a little bit blurry. And then we'll do the same thing to the other side. I love this. And I actually spritz it a little bit and then dry it with the dryer. I love this stamp set. I used some crackling campfire. I just wanted a contrast on that pink ticking paper, and I thought it came out really nice. I will put all of the Stamper Anonymous names in the description of the stamps I used. I just don't remember the right name. Yeah, just adding some butterflies on the top of that page. And I went across the whole top of these pages with this border stamp that I love. And I used some of the Gina K embossing powder, which really came out beautiful. Oh, and then I decided to use Mr. Rabbit, and I'm so happy I did, and just went with some of the black Versaclear ink. He's so handsome, isn't he? And I did emboss him. I just decided I wanted that to be a cool thing. What I ended up doing, I don't know if I did it previous, is I ended up doing one on one side and one on the other. I think we did talk about that earlier. And it really is a good method while you have it out and you're embossing, because then you can just heat both of them at the same time, which makes a whole lot of sense. So that was a fave for that little bag. Came out nice. I love this inside typewriter. I think this might be called Inventor. I don't remember. But it's the coolest stamp. It's so detailed. I love using that in my journals. Yeah, and then I used some of these foam stamps and remembered that I had those. I usually use them for jelly printing. And I was so happy that I remembered about them because I think they added a lot. And again, I did the same thing with doubling up on the embossing at the same time. And I used the larger, I think they're called nesting circles. I got those on PMR Studios. These foam stamps are great. And love what that added to the page. So we're looking pretty good. Just going back and reviewing. Oh yeah, we did add a few more. I did pull out some different foam stamps. So I actually went with some lumberjack red on this one for more of a contrast, and that's such a pretty. Oh, and then I pulled out some Versaclear. I wanted to give it a little bit of a two-tone look. And I didn't want to emboss that. I just wanted to leave it. And that came out beautiful. Love that. I'm just going to add some of these crosses here in the black. Maybe put a cluster over that or something. And then I think this might have been the last one I did. I just did some polka dots in that nice Versaclear blue and decided that I wanted to emboss that, and love the way that came out. Really pretty. I like that element on there. So that's it. And then we will get into some glazing. Texture Paste Transparent Matte. Let's try this. Looks like it's a little gooier. I think what I may end up doing, yeah, this is way too loose. I'll do it on this because I've already started, but what I'd rather do is just use the Distress Glaze and do a little, use embossing with it, because this is very loose and that is gonna take a while to dry. I mean, it's still gonna be nice, I can tell, but that is definitely gonna take a little bit to dry, and that's going to be super pretty. Now I have to remember that when I use the glaze, it comes through on the other side. I'm so glad I just remembered that, because I could do it somewhere where there's going to be a pocket. This one, it wouldn't go through because that's so thick. I don't think it would anyway. It would really surprise me. So this might be nice up here. Let's take this out. Yeah, this would be a really, it needs something. Almost might be cool to do something like that over this, wouldn't it? I'm gonna do this, but like not do the whole thing. Just do like a little here and a little down there. What color do we want to use? This is really cool. This antique linen. Let's go for it and try it. I think that would be nice. And the nice thing about using this is that you have instant gratification. You don't have to wait for the texture paste to dry. You just need to hold it on there pretty good while I'm doing it. I think that's what we'll do up in that corner. And then we'll move to this corner. Didn't come through just like I thought, because these are very thick. Oh, how good to know. Okay, give that a second to dry. Oh, I just adore that. Let's do some on this side. Yes. Okay, what should we do? Very exciting. Like to do something up here a little bit. I think it might be fun to have a little graphic type thing with that pretty flower. And you know what I'll do is I'll do it in something a little bit lighter so it won't be real super dark. Okay, here we go. Oh, guys, see what I mean? See what I mean about embossing? It is so special. Oh, yeah. I mean, that just kicked that whole page up a few notches. Okay, my mics are dying. I have to take a break. I'll return. But what I wanted to do now, remember I did this, I stamped this. I don't really like the other side of that, so I had an idea. I saw Gail Augustinelli do this with a page, and it's just a really fun pocket type page. So what she did was fold this and this down to the middle, at least from my recollection. Oh, it would be probably good to find the middle of the page so that I know I'm doing the right things. And I'm going to bring this down. And then this is going to go on here. And then those just both become big pockets. Oh, that looks good. Just want to make sure that we've got it centered. And we do. And probably a good way to do it would be to glue it like this. And then, so I'm just going to go around. Oh, should I glue this? Probably. Let's glue this just a little bit. I'm sure she did that. And then I'm going to glue right here and here, because that is going to be a pocket. And Kathy should have inked. So we're just going to do that real quick. That doesn't matter so much. It's just that these would be very hard to ink if I had to do it after the fact. Okay, let's do that again. So we put that in the middle, and then we go like this. gets closed on there like that. Now my question is, should I put one down the middle? And I think I'm going to. I don't know if Gail did or not, to be quite honest. I don't remember. I'll put this down here along the bottom. And let's get that glued down. I just thought that was a fun thing to do. And it covers up most of that blue page, which I don't know. And the other thing about it, the other reason why I did it is because this page is very flimsy. And I just thought, let's give this a little extra strength and make something useful out of it, right? I think I'm going to. I'm going to just sew right around. Maybe I'll just go around the whole page. It's kind of a nice idea, isn't it? Because then it just kind of strengthens everything. And I guess a good question is, maybe I could put something across the top there. That might also strengthen this. I like that idea. Let me think about this. All I need really is a strip. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to cut this. Fold it in half. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller on here because I do have one straight edge. Okay, I'm going to just sew around the whole thing, and that'll catch everything I want. I'll be right back. There. Oh, yeah. How nice. And there. Love. So we have two nice pockets, and now I like that. Okay. So this, and I sewed down the middle too. So this can go back in. I just need to remember where it was. I should put a little tab up there. I think it was in the other one. Well, I can count the pages, that's how I'll know. 9, yeah, and this would be 10. It might have been here. I could be wrong, but see now how nice that is? Now you've got a really nice pocket to put something in my page. Is stabilized, and oh, I love that. Okay, thank you, Gail, for that little tip. So these pages are really coming along, guys. I am just about ready to sew these in. So I think all of the other work that I have to do with the pockets and so forth, that can all go in after. I don't think there's anything else that I need to do. I did say stamp this. I really wanted something on these too. All right, well, let's get her done because I think I know what I wanted to. It was one of these. I think it was this one. I just love this. It's so pretty. The other thing I like doing is putting something in the middle on the top, and then you can put a nice pocket underneath it. Why don't I do that? Okay. I think I'm just going to do it in this Portobello, because that'll be nice. Whole lot of color going on in this journal, so I think this will be nice and won't conflict with whatever I want to put on the bottom. Okay, and I guess I can always come back and do a little bit more if I feel the need. Okay, so these guys are actually ready to get sewn in. I'm doing a voiceover for sewing in the signatures as well. It took quite a while, as signatures do take to sew in. And I just kind of wanted to talk through the process after the fact as well, because I think I might have done a couple of things differently. So here I'm just getting the pages ready, making sure they're all where they're supposed to be, because some of the pages are shorter. Making sure that everything is all the way down. and I like using those large clips. So I have my graph paper, and I am going to measure the journal, size of the journal. There's two ways to do this. You can either measure the size of the journal right top on there always, and then do a line where the pages start. I actually went back in and measured the pages and then cut that to the size of the pages. You can do it either way. Either way is fine, just as long as you make sure you know where your pages start and stop. So then I folded the middle. Because I was only doing 2 signatures, this was a little bit different for me because normally the middle would be the middle signature if I'm doing 3 or 5 or whatever. But because there was only 2, I folded the paper in half and then in quarters, and did the signatures 1.5 centimeters apart. Just went in and marked all those on the lines. That's the nice thing about the graph paper. And just got ready to use my awl. Oh, I did decide to use this pretty pink. It's embroidery floss, actually, that's on a spool. And here's one of the things I would have done differently. It's 3 times, the measure is 3 times the journal page. I did it for both signatures and ended up cutting the thread in between. So I didn't need to be working with all of that embroidery floss. So most of my journals, I'm finding the middle of the journal now, but what I wanted to say was most of my journals, I use a hidden spine. And so I'll use the fabric over, cardstock, and sew it separately. So this was a little bit different for me. I have done one other journal. It could have even been my first one with an outside binding. I'm just putting in the holes now. But it was a little bit challenging for me because of a couple things, as you'll see. Because I wanted to have dangles on the outside of this cover. So let's just fold this in half, find the middle, and you can use the same line for both of your signatures. I always clip that on, make sure everything is in place, and then I use a book to go through with my awl, which works really well. You can also use a piece of foam. I don't have one of those fancy cradles. So I started on the outside of the signature. Now, here's where my issue came in, because I don't normally do that. I ended up tying like a triple or quadruple knot on the outside and was planning on adding beads after the fact, which was a good idea. But you'll see as I go that I changed it up for the next. I'm just kind of bundling these up and putting a clip on them so I don't sew those through. So you can see that sometimes you need to go page by page to find your way through the hole because you don't be wanting to make a new hole. And once you get started, things really come together a little bit better in terms of all the pages aligning. But the first couple are tricky. So just weaving in and out from the back to the front. Oh, I love these pages. I really had so much fun putting this together just because of the colors and the vibrancy of those beautiful digitals. Yep, so weaving back and forth. So tightening everything up. So, of course, when I was tightening everything up, I felt like that knot was slipping through a little bit. So I added some beads. I added beads, tied a nice knot on there, and then actually put a tiny bit of glitter glue to hold that knot. Then I felt confident that I could tighten things up and not be pulling that through. So I don't think I would have done it this way again. I like tying the front to the back on the inside of the journal. That's why I'm doing a voiceover. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and think about it, because then I'm tying a knot on the inside of the journal now. I left that long so I can add some dangles, but I also put a little bit of glitter glue just to make sure that wasn't going to pull through, and it's fine. It's very sturdy and fine. It just, if I had to do it over again. So now I am sewing in the second signature, and I'm going to add beads at the beginning for the outside. So that'll be a really good anchor when I go to get that stitched. And I can be confident that that is nice and strong. And yeah, so here we go. I just fast forwarded that part. You didn't need to see me sewing in that second signature. Putting my knots in again. And putting a little bit of glitter glue as well. And there we go. I like flipping through and making sure all the pages have found their new home. All right, we have a journal. This is exciting. Oh goodness, thank you for being here today. We've done a lot of stamping and embossing, some glazing and embossing, a couple of little special touches. Got our journal pages sewn in, and I am happy. This is off to a running start, and I'm pretty excited about this journal. Next time when I come back, we will start putting together some special ephemera for this journal. So love you guys. Have a great day. If you like my videos, please comment below. Let me know what you think. I love your comments. They're so encouraging. And please subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.